Hello Year 1 and welcome to your maths learning for today. It is Tuesday the 2nd of March 2021. So your retrieval is recapping previous learned knowledge and understanding and learning. So can you count forwards and backwards to 40? So remember to go forwards and back. And can you start with some random numbers? So don't always start at 0, don't always start at 40 or 20. Choose some other numbers, a 12, a 13, a 23. Okay, and then can you count in your 2s, your 5s, and practice counting in your 10s, as this will help you with division and multiplication over the next few weeks. Okay, so now can you look at your calendar and follow the process as always. Remember to pause and have time to do these activities, whether you want to share with someone, write it down, whatever works best for you. Months of the year as well, and remember that key question about what the season is. That's a new one that we've added. Okay, we're learning today. So we are learning to use pictorial objects to solve division calculations. So how can we be successful? So we need to know what we mean by pictorial objects. We need to know what we mean by division. So pictorial objects means instead of using physical objects, it is pictures. So instead of using actual apples, it is a picture or pictures of apples, or pictures of cubes, or pictures of cakes. Okay, and then we are solving those division calculations. So that just means a number sentence. Okay, and a division one is dividing, so that's sharing that we've practiced. So what do you know about division? What can you remember from yesterday? What is division? What does it mean? And remember to pause here so you have some time to think, share your ideas and what you've remembered from yesterday, because the answer's on the next slide. Don't want to give it away. Okay, so division is breaking a number up into an equal number of parts. Okay, so division is breaking a number up into an equal number of parts. So like we did with the sharing, we had to make sure that each group had the same amount. So equal means the same, so that it's fair. So there are some division calculations on the next few slides. I would like you to work through them. Okay, and what you need to do is cross out those objects and then draw them into the group. So you can also use objects such as counters or cubes to support you, and I'll show you this. I was trying to show you on the slide, but I'm not sure I can do that on here, but I'll help you through this. So use the objects to support you like you have been what you did yesterday. So make sure these are the key things that you need to remember. Read the calculation. Look at how many objects you need, that bigger number, and then look at how many groups you are dividing or sharing the objects between, which is your smaller number in the calculation. So here we go with division. Here is our first example. So we've got 8 divided by 2 equals, or is the same as what? So our 8 is our bigger number. That's how many objects we've got. We've got 8 apples, okay? And divided by 2 means we are sharing it equally between 2 groups. So I've got those 2 circles there, and we need to share those 8 equally between those 2 groups, okay? So all you need to do is when you are sharing is cross each object out and then draw a cross in the circle to represent that object. So if I grab a piece of paper, I will show you that now, just to make that a little bit easier for you. So if I have my 8 divided by 2, very quickly for you, and I've got my apples, so try not to laugh at my apples too much. Which with apples, they're different shapes and sizes, which is fine. Just going to check I've got the right amount. And they're pink, so I apologise, they can be pink lady apples, which are my favourite. Okay, so I have got my 8 apples, like so. See that? It's not the clearest. And I've got my 2 circles. So what I'm going to do is cross one out and then put the cross into a circle. Oh, other circle. There you go, like that. Okay, and then I need to make sure I share onto the next side. So I'm sharing into this one now. So I cross out the next one and then put a cross in. Okay, and then I keep going, cross another one, back into the other circle. So I've now crossed into here. And then I would cross my next one back into the other side. Okay, let's see if I can do it on here, but it's a bit tricky. So then I'd cross out my next one, and then I'd go back into this group. And then I would cross again here, and then go over to this side. And then cross, and go back over here. It's a bit tricky. And then I've got my last one, okay, at the very end here. So I'm going to cross that out. It's really tricky to try and remember where I'm crossing. So remember, if you're not sure, if you look at the groups, you can see I've got 4 in here and only 3 in here. So I need to share that other one over there. What I then need to do is look at how many I've got in each group. So how many have I got here and how many have I got here? So I've got how many crosses? So 1, 2, 3, 4 in that one. So I'll write that underneath just to help me remember, like that. And then I'll do the same here and count those out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have shared out 8 into 2 equal groups, and each person or each group had 4 apples each. Okay, so I've divided 8 between 2 groups. Okay, so that is what I mean by the pictorial representations, but you can use objects to support you and then have a go at doing that as well. Okay, so if I do this from this current slide, this will then show you the sharing. So 1 apple into one group, then over to the other side. Okay, so that's what you'll do with your objects, but obviously because it is a picture, you have to cross it out and share it yourself. Okay, so it's done exactly the same way. Okay, but just be careful because they've shared twice into that circle. We don't want to do that. We want to do one group at a time, just like you practiced yesterday. Okay, so be careful to check how many groups, because the next one here, okay, is dividing the number by 3. So we've got 6 ducks and we're dividing it by 3 groups. Okay, so be careful to share into one group, the next group, the next group, then again back to the other side. Okay, so your ducks, again, you can cross one out and then put a cross in that box, in that circle. Cross another duck out and then into the next circle. Cross another one out into the last circle, and keep going till you've crossed out all the ducks. There's no more left. You can print these off and use these and then put physical objects over the top of the ducks to represent the ducks and share that way, and then add in your crosses after. You might want to do that as well. So if you want to use your objects and then do your sharing using your crosses, then you can do that. Okay, so work your way through the slides because there's lots of different numbers, different objects, and different amounts that you are sharing. So different numbers that you are sharing into different groups. So 6 divided by 3, there's 9 divided by 3, 8 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2, 12 divided by 2, 6 divided by 4, 12 divided by 3, and then 20 divided by 4. So the number's a bit bigger there for a bit of a challenge. Okay, so then your fly high is the same sorts of questions as yesterday because it's very practical yesterday. So can you share or divide in another way? So if you look at your numbers, can you recognise any of those patterns? So you can always share 2 in a group at a time. So like with the 8 divided by 2, I could have done 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, like that. And can we share an odd number? Explain your reasoning. And then how do we know if a number is odd or even? Can you explain that? Or how you can work out if a number is odd? What can you do? Okay, and the answer's there, so I'll skip past that. It's all on the slide, all on the PowerPoint, so have a little look. And then your plenary is just a roundup of the lesson. So what have you learned about division today? What can you recall or tell me or somebody at home about division? And then as always, the parent support email there is linked for you. So please, please, please share some of your lovely work. I've already seen some lovely, lovely photos and videos of children sharing. I had pasta on plates and objects like that, which is brilliant to see. You can use anything at home. Okay, well, at school, yes, we use cubes, but use whatever you would like at home, whether it's cars or like pasta or sweets, because it's all about that fairness. So if you have a plate of sweets, would you want your friend to have 8 and you to have 2? Okay, so it's all about that having equal amounts, and that it's fair, it's shared fairly, it's divided equally. Okay, good luck with your learning. I look forward to seeing some of your work, and I'm sure that